Good day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video we're going to talk about obtaining your class order hall mounts in Legion Remix, talk about the process, talk about some of the exceptions for some of the classes, and then also talk about some of the tints you can obtain, why you should do it in Legion Remix, etc, etc. So let's cover how you get through the process. Now the process is actually incredibly simple. You will have to complete the class order hall base campaign for whichever class you want to do this on. So you have to do it, the class order hall campaign for every class you want to do the mount on. You will need to complete the Broken Shores campaign on at least one of your characters, and you will have to also complete the Champions of Legion Fall, which is an achievement that you get through the process of completing the Broken Shores campaign. The process will be as follows. You will need to complete your class order hall base campaign. This will generally require you to be around about level 60 for each and every single one of your classes. You will also have to do 10 world quests along the way, as well as a couple of dungeons. Once you've completed the scenario, you will be able to head over to the Broken Shores, unlock the Broken Shores by speaking to Khadgar, and then once you've unlocked the Broken Shores, you can speak to Maiev after completing your class order hall campaign, and you can take the Champions of Legion Fall quest. By taking the Champions of Legion Fall quest, you will automatically complete it because there's no class order missions in this Legion remix, and then you can proceed with the Broken Shore campaign. You will have to complete the Broken Shore campaign, the Legion Fall campaign, and once you've done that, when you get to Deliverance Point, you will be able to pick up a Mount Order Hall quest line, which will be fairly brief. When you go back to your order hall, you do not have to continue the order hall companion recruitment campaign for every class. However, you do have to complete it for some classes to be able to get your mount. So best you just do both. It will unlock a special companion for you, as well as allow you to pick up the class order hall mount, which will be at the base point of Deliverance Point. So just a little bit down the hill from Maiev. Each class will pick up its quest from the appropriate NPCs that are there for you. And that's that. That covers the process for you. It's very simple. You don't have to do the zone quest, the Illidan quest line, Light's Heart quest line, Surma, or all three artifacts. We'll talk about some exceptions now, as well as why you should do it in Legion Remix. So I want to just talk about why you should do this in Legion Remix instead of doing this in retail, because you can do them both. So there's two major reasons that are very obvious. The first is your order hall missions that you need for things like Champions of Legion Fall, your Forged for Battle, your Standing Campaign. All of these essentially are automatically skipped. So all of them, the whole time limits that you have on retail, some of these missions can be several hours, even a day or two. We're talking like 12-hour missions. So doing them on retail is a bit of a problem. Takes you a little bit longer. Then on top of that as well, there is actually a hidden feat for Legion Remix, which you don't necessarily see on the surface level. So you don't see it like in the actual achievements list, but by getting every single class order hall traditional mount with your character, you will get a cool secret feat of strength. It's nothing major. I mean, feat of strength don't count for anything other than bragging rights, but it is something that, you know, is pretty cool if you're interested. But the main thing is that it's the speed, right? Because you can level your characters very quickly, you can level your ult super quickly, you can do your order hall campaign mission super quickly, and with your boosts from your infinite power, you can finish all of this super duper fast. So essentially, when it comes down to getting the class order hall mounts, it's very quick. Now that we've discussed how to get to the point where you're getting your class mount, we're going to just briefly discuss some of the issues players may find for certain classes, and then we're going to discuss a little bit of the different tints, etc., for the different mounts, which will reference a Wowhead article. So firstly, let's talk about some of the issues that players are currently facing, and that some have been fixed and some have not been fixed. So currently there is an issue with Death Knights. So it seems as though Death Knights do not have the ability to teleport to the Ice Crown Citadel, which is giving them some problems in terms of finishing the quest line. This will probably be fixed. Next, we're going to talk about Paladins. So for Paladins, you will find that you need to complete a certain amount of quests within the Suramar quest line. Some players may not realize this, but you need 500 ancient mana to be able to purchase the items, so you will need to make some progress in the Suramar quest line, even if you don't have to do that on some of the other classes. Monks are currently experiencing some issues. The mobs that drop the items required to finish off the Monk Legion 4 and Mount campaigns is not working. And then we also have a issue with Paladins again, in that it seems that there's no way to get the leatherwork piece that they require for their quest line. That kind of covers it for most of them. Essentially, it shouldn't be too many more issues, so just depends. But yeah, basically we'll have to take a look and see what happens in future. If you know of any other roadblocks, let us know in the comments down below. We're going to talk a little bit about some unlocks that you can obtain once you get your class hall mount. We're going to talk a little bit about each class quickly. What's important to take note is that traditionally you needed power ascended to get these items. I am now 90% certain that you don't need them, if anymore. I think you can just speak to the class vendors in your class hall and you can pick up all of these items we're about to mention. Some are different alternate looks for your mount, some are pets, some are etc, etc. So we'll briefly touch on each one and take a look from there. So for Death Knights, nothing too crazy. The color of your mount will change depending on obviously what spec you're in, but you can buy 3 pets, which are mini versions of your mount, from your class hall vendor once you have got the mount, which is great. Next, we look at Demon Hunters. Nothing too crazy for Demon Hunters. There is a tiny set of Warglaives that you can purchase from the vendor in your class hall, which will give Pepe, the little bird toy that you can place on your head, a Demon Hunter appearance with a blindfold, which is pretty cool. For Druid, there isn't anything specific that Druid has from its vendor. It simply just changes tint based on the race. Trolls are red, Tauren brown, Worgen white, Night Elves are black. For Hunter, Hunter actually has a ton of stuff that you can obtain. Now, Hunter actually gives you another 2 mounts that you can get from the vendor. So you'll get 1 mount Loyal Wolfhawk, but you can also get 2 more variants from the vendor as well. However, you also get a tome which allows you to tame Hippogriffs, Griffins, Owlcats, Wolfhawks, and Wyverns for your class, which is pretty cool. Mages can purchase the Magical Saucer in their class hall, which gives basically a battle pet the ability to fly alongside you on a Magical Saucer. Monks can purchase Ban Fu, Cub of Ban Lu, after obtaining the Monk mount, which is pretty cool. For Paladins, you can purchase alternative tints of your mount from Crusader Lord Delphos after you've completed the class mount campaign, which is great. Rogues can buy alternative colors from their class hall. They will also get a pet called Crackers, but this is just via default of the campaign, not actually from a vendor. Warlocks can pick up an alternative tint from Calidius after getting their class mount, who's in their order hall location, so you can get an alternative tint for your mount from the vendor there. And that's that. That covers everything you need to know about class hall order mounts. I hope this has given you enough information to go out, get your own mounts, and enjoy your time. That's it from me. See you next time. Bye.